Namaskar, I am JVN. I am faculty of FEM and Dr. Anupama Goyal, working as Associate Professor in Botany in Jyoti Vidyapeeth University. And now I will deliver my lecture on the habitat of algae. So before starting with the habitat of algae, I will like to say what are algae. So what are algae? Algae are commonly known as the seaweeds. Algae are called as seaweeds and the study of algae is called as phycology. So my dear students, what are algae? Algae are chlorophyll containing thalloid plants and the study of algae is called as phycology. And when we study about the characteristics of the algae, we find in algae there is no cellular differentiation, means the thallus of algae is not divided into roots, stem and leaves as in higher plants, means the thallus of algae is undifferentiated. And now I talk about the habitat of algae. Algae are found in a diverse habitats. First of all, the aquatic algae, second terrestrial algae, and then the algae of unusual habitats. And first of all, like I see aquatic algae, algae are aquatic algae, and second algae, these are the terrestrial algae, and third are the algae of unusual habitats. Algae of unusual habitats. Algae of unusual habitats. So, first of all, algae are found in freshwater of ponds, rivers, lakes, and even algae are found in sea. So, some of the algae are freely floating on the surface of water. And when these algae freely float on the surface of water, they form blooms, and these blooms are also called as phytoplanktons. These blooms are called as phytoplanktons. So now, what are aquatic algae? Aquatic algae are found in fresh water of pools, rivers, streams, and some of the examples of freshwater algae are volvox, hydrodactyon, volvox, hydrodactyon. This is also a freshwater algae. And nostoc, one of the algae is nostoc, and this nostoc algae is a blue-green algae belonging to the class Cyanophyceae. So nostoc, volvox, hydrodactyon are freshwater algae. Even the Chlamydomonas is a green algae which is found in freshwater. And these aquatic algae, they may be found in the freely floating water, or they are found in the stagnant water. They are found in the stagnant water. So now I will talk about the algae of the unusual habitats. So what are the algae of the unusual habitats? First of all, I talk about the symbiotic algae. So I write over here symbiotic algae. Symbiotic algae. So what are symbiotic algae? These algae form symbiotic association with the roots of the higher plants, like for example, nostoc is a symbiotic algae, and this nostoc, which is a symbiotic algae, it is found in the cortex, it is found in the middle cortex, it is found in the middle cortex of colloid roots of cycas, which is a gymnosperm. So nostoc forms symbiotic association with the roots of the cycas, which is a gymnosperm, and this nostoc, which is a blue-green algae, it helps in fixation of atmospheric nitrogen. It helps in the fixation of atmospheric nitrogen. It helps in the fixation of atmospheric nitrogen. And so, my friends, this nostoc is symbiotic in nature. Similarly, we can see the parasitic algae. These are all the examples of algae of unusual habitats. So what are parasitic algae? These algae, they occur as parasites on other plants. For example, one of the parasitic algae is Cephaloros. I write here Cephaloros, and this Cephaloros is an algae which is parasitic. It is found to be grown on tea plants and in coffee plantations. So, dear friends or dear students, this algae which is parasitic, Cephaloros, it causes diseases on tea and the coffee plantations. One of the diseases, red rust of tea. It causes on the tea plants. Now, my friends, I tell you about the lithophytic algae. What are the lithophytic algae? So these algae are found to be grown on the walls and on the rocks. These algae, they are grown on the wall and the rocks, and so these are called as lithophytic algae. And then the cryophytes. What are cryophytes? Now, what are cryophytes? The question is, what are cryophytes? So these algae, they are found to be grown on snow or ice. These cryophytic algae, they grow on snow or ice. One of the best examples of cryophytic algae is Chlamydomonas yellowstonensis. Chlamydomonas yellowstonensis. And this alga, Chlamydomonas, which is green alga, it is found on the mountain peaks covered with snow. And this alga, Chlamydomonas, which grows on the mountain peaks covered with snow, it imparts yellow color to the mountain peaks. So the alga which grow on ice and which grow on the snow, they are called as the cryophytes. Now, what are epiphytic algae? These are also the algae of unusual habitats, epiphytic algae, and then the endozoic algae. So, as the term suggests, what are epiphytic algae? These epiphytic algae, they are found to be grown on some plants, or these are grown on larger algae. So some of the examples of epiphytic algae are bulbocute and now endozoic algae. As the term suggests, these algae, which are endozoic, these are found to be grown inside the tissues. These are found inside the tissues of some organisms, like one algae is Euchlorella. This algae grows inside the tissues of Hydra. So Euchlorella is endozoic in nature. And now I tell you about the terrestrial algae. So what are terrestrial algae? Terrestrial algae, as the name suggests, are of two types. First is the saprophytes. Second is the cryophytes. So, as the name suggests, these saprophytes, these are growing only on the surface of the soil. These algae, which are called as saprophytes, these grow only on the surface of the soil. They are found to be grown on the surface of the soil, whereas the cryophytes or the cryophytic algae, they are found to be grown beneath the surface of the soil. surface of the soil, means these algae are subterranean in nature. These are subterranean in nature. And now I begin. Okay, sir.